You're listening to Comic Reflections, episode 103. I'm your host, Nicholas Prom.
I'm Jeff Barnhart, the He-Devil who will never be tamed by man.
Oh, man. Comic Reflections is brought to you by Rhymes with Geek. You can check out our show, plus plenty of podcasts and cool articles about comic books at rhymeswithgeek.com.
Okay.
So, let us begin.
Okay. Is the world ready?
I don't know. Are you ready?
No.
Okay. So, our first book we're going to talk about today is Sergeant Fury and his Howling Commandos Annual number 7. Yes, and the lead story is called Armageddon, reprinted from Sergeant Fury number 29, written by Roy Thomas, with art penciled by Dick Ayers and inked by John Tartaglione.
A lot of Furies are done better. I don't like this guy's style here.
Dick Ayers?
Yeah, It's kind of meh. And actually, I think there's a worse one I saw a long time ago. I was just shocked because you've seen Kirby, who was just turned 97 a couple of days ago.
Yep.
And there's other ones that just look wonderful. It's really well drawn. This one is mediocre, and I've seen a lot worse.
Yeah. So it's middle of the road then for you?
Or a year or less than. But I love it that the splash page has Baron Strucker and Nick Fury staring at each other, and Strucker's got a hand on a device that will blow up the town. And
it's a dead man switch, right?
No, a dead man switch.
Always you let go of it and then it blows up. This is he's going to press it. Okay.
And there's a swastika on the end of the handle.
Of course. Oh, he's got like a regular a switch throwing.
Yeah.
Switch also.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, but Baron Strucker and Fury, I love their rivalry and stuff. Although, reading this, it makes me think of, man, what's Sergeant Rock's nemesis, the
Iron Captain or something, or Iron Major?
The Iron Major, that's it. Is really better.
Yeah.
And
he's only met him a couple of times, I think.
Yeah. Well, more than a couple, but yeah, it's not like all the time, or it's not on the frequent basis with Fury and Fury and Strucker are. So yeah, but
yeah, that's the problem with war titles, is that they will never. In the real war, you don't meet people again and again.
It's true.
Even fighter pilots, and there's not that many of them, they rarely go against each other more than once.
Well, sure.
So, and that's kind of so you don't get. No, it makes it ridiculous that you have people fighting each other again and again and again.
Yeah, so, I think
these are commandos, so both of these guys are kind of commando-like. So.
Sure. And I think, I know it's kind of unfair to, compare Sergeant Fury and Sergeant Rock all the time, but yeah, I think the Sergeant Fury comics are just okay, and the Sergeant Rock comics are really great. And then, but see, Fury is excellent when S.H.I.E.L.D. comes along. Mm-hmm. S.H.I.E.L.D. is a great book, so.
Yeah, I don't know. Sergeant Fury is sometimes more enjoyable sometimes. It's a lot more banter, sometimes too much banter.
Feels like nonstop banter, especially in stuff
Sergeant
like this.
Rock is kind of wears his heart on his sleeve, and how horrible war is, and well, it is. But
he's just a guy doing the job. You never hear him really expound about his feelings and stuff. Mm-hmm. Sergeant Rock, he's just
he talks about war all the time.
Sure.
Yeah. All right. So Armageddon. Isn't that an album from Def Leppard?
It's a song. They have a song, Armageddon it.
Yeah. Okay. I like Def Leppard. What a fun group.
Yeah. That rock and roll music is really nifty.
Yeah. Okay. Strucker.
Strucker.
It's probably Strucker in German.
There's no umlaut. I'm gonna say Strucker.
Oh, okay. Ooh, that would be hard for them to draw umlaut all the time, I guess.
Well, the letterer could do that.
Yeah, I guess he could, but yeah.
Yeah.
But you have to make sure they do that. So, all right, I'll take your word for it. So
okay.
You're usually smarter. an eye on these things. So the town of Cherbourg,
Yeah.
which
That's
is probably
in France.
next to Ferry and Orleans. It's one of those mythical.
Oh, okay.
Because there's no. Well, there might be a Cherbourg, but it's. I think it's made up.
Okay.
So, and they're going to blow it up. This is kind of similar to the Dice in Czechoslovakia when Reinhard Heydrich was assassinated by British commandos, and they just killed everybody. And I think it's Lidice, L-I-D-I-C-E.
Okay.
And when Paris was threatened by the Allies, Hitler demanded that Paris be burned. So this may be similar.
So this is analogous to that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I am not sure why Hitler wanted this town destroyed. I don't think they go into it.
Just to be a dick, probably.
Yeah, maybe so. Oh, Fury doesn't have his 5 o'clock shadow. What's wrong?
It's Dick Ayers is drawing it. That's what's wrong.
Mhm.
No, I like Dick Ayers, but not so much on this.
Yeah,
It's okay.
Yeah,
It's okay. Or
Alright,
maybe
well,
he had a furlough and actually shaved. Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Without the shadow, the war is lost.
Oh, man.
Alright, so he talks to Strucker, and then they decide, let's let the people leave. So
The
they
civilians.
can fight it out. Yeah, civilians.
Mhm.
And so a Panzer Division against, how many people in the Commandos? 6, 7?
Something like that.
Yeah, Panzer Division has about, I don't know if it's full up 100 to 300 tanks and 10,000 men. So
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
kind of wild. Even a fraction of that is ridiculous against the Howlers.
yeah, that's but.
So
But they have a secret weapon. The Howlers do. They have.
there's a French resistance who are like undercover as Nazis helping them out.
Yeah, and they wear their. And one of the Germans, how can you tell yourself apart? And they said, we have our swastikas backwards. Soldiers can tell when something's wrong with the uniform because they are chewed out. I mean, it's very important to have your uniform correct.
Right.
They would notice something like this.
I agree.
Yeah, and the French resistance is like the FBI Mack trucks, one of the most overrated things in history.
Right.
So hardly anybody was in the French resistance before everyone thought that the Germans were going to lose. And then a few of them were in. So de Gaulle at the end said, well, everybody was in the resistance. So just put it into it.
But the movies and popular fiction have made the French resistance seem like a bigger deal than it was. So.
All right. Oh, we got some nice fighting and all this, and people shooting guns out of hand, and an upside down gun. Why does he have his gun upside down? Dino Manelli. What is his name? Dino Manelli?
Yeah, I think so.
Manelli.
Yeah, he's one of the Howlers, right?
But his gun is upside down. I'm serious.
Well, it's a mistake.
Yeah.
So.
I do like. Yeah. Gabe is one of my favorite characters.
Oh, he's great. He and Dum Dum are the only Howlers of note to me. The rest of them are just kind of stupid.
Yeah.
Like Manelli and then the Southern guy are okay.
Yeah, they're okay.
But that guy, the English fop guy with the umbrella, I can't stand.
Yeah, he's just stupid.
Yeah.
Is that it? Oh, are we missing somebody?
Dum
Dum, I guess, is my favorite.
Yeah.
Then Gabe. He has a nice fight with two guys who are holding on to him. This other guy comes up to Luger, going to shoot him, and he kicks
Gabe
him in
does?
the face. Yeah. And then he busts the guys' heads together.
I like it.
Yeah, it makes a nice little quip, too.
Yeah.
And we see that Dum Dum is hanging Germans on the chandelier. I'm not sure why. There's probably a good tactical reason for that.
Well, it looks cool, you know. Sometimes things in the comic, they're just because it looks cool.
I know. That's exactly why. There's no other reason. So they're fighting. Then
so Fury and Baron Strucker are duking it out.
yeah, and then they this lieutenant of Strucker's hits the switch, and figures out that Strucker is a madman and goes against Strucker and gets killed by Strucker. And that's kind of interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, but so Fury and Strucker just
fight and fight some more.
Yeah, it really goes on for a while.
Yeah, I guess Strucker is the only German who can fight because everyone else gets one punch and they're out.
Right.
There was the Blitzkrieg gang, which is pretty cool.
What's that?
I think it was Baron Strucker's version of Howling Commandos, and
really,
every character was opposite. Had his counterpart in Howling Commandos.
Interesting. Who was the opposite of Gabe? Was he a Jap?
No, he was a German who played the flute.
Oh.
And had a big beefy German with one of those hunting caps or whatever the Germans always wear with a feather in it.
Oh yeah, okay.
And he wore that, and there was a fencing guy, I think, and yeah, that's about it. So
yeah, I haven't read this, but
I've seen them a couple of times.
Okay, so. The Blitzkrieg gang.
They're okay.
Strucker is so much cooler once Hydra gets going, though.
Yeah, it's a shame too.
Yeah, this is still pretty cool though.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's just massive destruction. There's not much really happening. There's so much happening, but it's really the same thing.
Yeah,
things blow up. You run away.
There's a lot of spectacle going on, but not a whole lot of the plot's pretty thin. But so Fury is fighting Strucker, and Strucker falls out the window, and Fury saves him.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're going to have a truce, and of course Strucker is a double crosser.
Right. Oh, yeah. Yeah. But, so Strucker, you think that Fury dies, but he gets up and rises through the rubble.
Yeah.
And then Strucker rises through the rubble. And then,
but he lost one of his shoes. How embarrassing.
Yeah, and how did he know it's Strucker, Baron Strucker's boot? I don't see the name on it.
Well, right. I mean, doesn't they all have those uniforms? So it could be any German officer. You're right.
Yeah. So
the Howlers win, and the Nazis are beaten.
Yeah, Strucker comes up. He's going to take out the Fuhrer because he didn't blow up the town with the people in it. Which that's all fuzzy. So.
Yeah. Meh.
Okay. Segue.
Okay.
When I was at my old library in NC State, they had a display with all these mathematical books from World War II in Czechoslovakia.
Oh, cool.
And it was occupied. And they all had Reinhard Heydrich's picture, and the guy just crossed it out because he didn't like Nazis. And they had a little blurb, explaining. It says, a German soldier had a picture, there was a picture of a German soldier. It says, that's not a German soldier. That's Reinhard Heydrich. It was number 3. And he started, he was in charge of organizing Kristallnacht. In the Eisensgruppen. And
holy crap.
This guy was big time. And
he was one of the top Nazis, yeah.
And I said this and no one paid attention. A Jewish survivor of Auschwitz came in and chewed them out. So about a few days later, there were nice, about 10-inch explanations of what's going on, very precise.
Wow.
Yeah, so one of my proudest moments.
Well, right on. That's
good. They
good.
don't listen to me, but no.
I listen to you, and our listeners listen to you.
Okay.
Yay.
More fool they.
Oh boy.
Okay.
So our backup story, the second of the 2 stories in this annual, is called Incident in Italy, and it's a reprint from Sergeant Fury number 30. Roy Thomas wrote it, Dick Ayers penciled it, and John Tartaglione inked it.
Yeah. Oh, Sam Rosen is lethargic lettering. This is what.
Oh, let's do the alliterative credits.
Energetic editing by Stan Lee. Rambunctious writing by Roy Thomas. Actionistic art by Dick Ayers. Dynamic delineation by John Tartaglione.
Tartaglione, yeah.
Tartaglione. Lethargic lettering by Sam Rosen.
Sam Rosen and Artie Simek were the 2 main letterers at Marvel. But yeah.
All right. So they're
The Howlers
are in Italy, and they get captured by Italians, which is the most embarrassing thing ever.
Yeah.
Someone said the amazing thing is not that the Italian army is so bad, is that there are so many reasons for it to be bad. It was just really bad training, bad sergeants, bad officers, corrupt. They had decent rifles, machine guns were awful.
Yeah.
They had machine guns that would pick up the loose rounds, and it just made anything more complicated. And this
Weird.
Yeah, and their tanks were just. The tanks were about as bad as Japanese tanks, and which were awful at the time.
Really?
So, just really bad.
Okay.
Okay, but
So the Howlers, they're on a mission to infiltrate, and they're gonna get captured. But the trick is to they're getting captured on purpose so they can try and steal Mussolini's gold.
oh god.
Like what? Was this a movie?
All right. Kelly's Heroes
Yeah.
kind of started this with the getting gold. But I love Kelly's Heroes. It's a fun movie. But it kind of started this thing that you can't have soldiers. Americans would not go fight somebody because they're drafted and it's the right thing to do. They have to have some kind of money there. Even Saving Private Ryan, they got to go find somebody. The last brother who's living.
Yeah.
And isn't it enough to go defeat Hitler? I mean, isn't that enough to go fight?
Sure.
I think so. So we got this crap. The Dirty Dozen, when they did Return of the Dirty Dozen.
Yeah.
And they were going after gold too. It's really, I don't know. It's very cynical and bad, and I don't know. Oh, well.
It takes the here's our noble cause to defeat the Nazis and turns it into something very avaricious and selfish.
I guess though that in this case, Howling Commandos are not going to take the money. They're going to take the money, but they're going to give it back to whoever is supposed to have it.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't have money, it's not important. I don't like that.
Eh.
All right, so
the money's the MacGuffin in this story.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. We got a captain, a Canadian captain, who's kind of a stuffed shirt, and he chews out chews out Nick Fury because he hasn't shaved.
Right.
I like that. Yay for once. Oh, but he's got a cool handlebar mustache.
Yeah.
Because all Canadians have handlebar mustaches.
What are you talking about?
Yes. Yeah. Okay, so they get captured. They find out the commandant, Major Carlo, with the name like Carlo, you know he's going to be good.
Okay.
So, he's a partisan, which is the Italian version of the French underground.
Oh, okay.
So he's got this plan to go get the gold, and let's see, they make a plan. And then they find out that Major Carlo is going to get arrested by Mussolini's men. So they got to break out before they were meant to break out. So they beat the crap out of the Italian army. No surprise there. So I don't know why they go through a tunnel. A tunnel is only... They could just walk over and get their trucks, but they go through a tunnel instead because the tunnel was built, I guess, and looks cool.
Yeah.
But a tunnel is going to be a couple hundred feet.
Uh-huh.
Because it's to make for people to make a tunnel without being noticed. You really can't, get in there with pickaxes and all that.
Right.
So
you gotta get Charlie Bronson.
It looks cool though. So
yeah. Hiring Charlie Bronson to make that tunnel. Remember in The Great Escape?
Mm-hmm.
That movie's awesome, and the real story behind it is rad too.
Mm-hmm. So they get to their trucks, and they're met by this young partisan, who turns out to be a chick.
Yeah.
Yay!
She's a real doll.
Mm-hmm. And we find out even more about her later.
Yes.
So they go to this place, which is supposedly the most highly secure place in Italy, and Okay, go on in. So
Yeah.
you're his cousin. Okay, that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they get in. They kick butt again. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. So they steal the gold, which is luckily in small containers. They get to.
How convenient.
Yeah. They're attacked, and then they run off. They're attacked by Italian Air Force, which is cool. They have the name. So let's see, Savoia Marchetti SM 79-11 Sparverios.
Okay.
I probably butchered that, but they are. The Italian planes look cool, really, and they look good in comics, and they look cool in real life too.
Oh, right on.
And then they spoil it with a tank, which looks like a German Tiger tank. Instead of, no, I guess it'd be embarrassing to have what they actually look like.
Okay.
They really are bad.
Okay.
They're sad. So there's a tank attacking. So Nick gets out, and luckily they leave the hatches open so Nick Fury can shoot down in them.
I wonder why Nick Fury's like going around without a shirt the whole time.
I don't know. It's sort of, yeah. Do you really need to see that? I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's not like it's objectionable, but I'm like, why aren't you wearing a shirt? Did you take? I don't remember. Did he take it off because he needed to? It got ruined or something?
Maybe he was getting the gold and he didn't want to mess his shirt up. I don't know.
I don't know.
But he's bare chested a lot.
Yeah.
Something for the ladies.
I guess so. So Sophia is helping them out too along this, and that's important. She's kind of got a crush on Dino.
Yeah, and who doesn't?
Right, and because he's back home, he's a movie star, something like that.
Yeah, looks kind of like Dean. I don't know. Actually, I don't know who he looks like. Tab Hunter. I don't.
Tab Hunter was awful. Man, what a terrible actor. But anyway.
But Sophia might be Sophia Loren.
Yeah, I picked up on that too. And man, you remember Sophia Loren? She was a beautiful lady when she was young.
A good actress. So. Yeah. The Italian film was really good for quite a while.
Oh yeah, I love Italian movies. So anyway, the Fury and the Howlers get away with the gold and stuff.
The end. That's about it. The Navy helps them by blowing away everything, and okay, it's sort of meh.
All right. So the next book we've got to talk about is Shanna the She-Devil, #1, and I want to preface my conversation about this with a little inside information. Okay.
Oh, good.
At this time, it's 73, 75, something like that. Marvel decides, hey, let's get in on the women's lib kind of thing. Let's get some books out that are female-centric. And so they did Shanna the She-Devil, Night Nurse, and The Cat. Really breaking boundaries here, folks.
Right.
Not. But what was interesting is each book was, and none of them lasted more than 5 issues. It was a failed experiment. But notable for a couple things. Shanna obviously went on and became the wife of Kazar, and kind of they built on Kazar and made him more interesting with her. But this is written, Shanna the She-Devil, this is written by Carol Sailing and Steve Gerber. Now, Carol Sailing is not a professional comics writer. In each of these, Marvel's Women Lib books, that's just what I'm going to call them for now, they paired up someone who was like the gal, like the wife or girlfriend of a comics luminary with a pro comics writer. Steve Gerber, obviously, we've read Man-Thing and Howard and other things that he's done, Omega the Unknown. But Carol Sailing was the wife of Phil Sailing, who was a very important figure in comics fandom. He was a comics dealer before comic shops really happened. He was a convention organizer. He was a big deal. And she wrote a handful of comics, including this, but not a lot.
There's an asterisk besides Steve Gerber. I don't see anything where the asterisk goes to. Or are they just separating?
Yes, they're separate. They're just separating.
Yeah.
Yeah, because and George Tuska on art, and pencils anyway, and inked by Vince Colletta.
Yeah.
So.
Artwork is serviceable. Not bad.
Tuska was really great in the Golden Age, but in the 70s, he was a much maligned artist. His kind of best days were behind him. He is serviceable, and I think his art is fine. A lot of people complain about, oftentimes you'll see when he draws someone smiling or you see their teeth, often, and not always, you won't see like lines indicating there are separate teeth. It looks like one big tooth.
Oh.
That's like a big complaint of people against George Tuska. I like his art.
I've noticed that there, and I don't think I would be upset about that.
Yeah, well, it's a weird complaint, but that's the thing.
Yeah.
And Vince Coletta's inks are nice on this, even though people hate Vince Coletta. I think when he had inked a lot of stuff because he was a fast inker, and when he's just cranking them out, he's not always taking his time and doing a great job.
Yeah.
But when he took his time, I think Coletta is a very fine inker. So. But anyway, Shanna, let's talk about her.
Okay, Shanna or Captain Planet.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
And the dialogue in this is so heavy-handed against all male chauvinist pigs and female empowerment. And those are positive things, but it's just, it reads so clunky.
Anything positive can be made negative, and too much of anything is a poison.
Right.
You know, too much milk or water can kill you.
Well, right. It's a very feminist perspective, and it's good. That's positive, but it's so heavy-handed and clunky that it's bad.
No humor, no light touch. It's propaganda. Whether I agree with it or not, I want it to be light. You know,
sure.
I don't want them hitting me over the head with it.
Right.
You don't need to.
And this is pretty stilted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it kind of really makes it a bore to read. You got to read this other. Man, that's what.
Yeah.
Oh god. So Shanna is, well,
she's kind of a jungle queen.
Yeah,
and we learn why later.
Well, which is racist in itself. Only white people can control the jungle. The black natives there are stupid.
Well, right, and this is like the weird irony or whatever that when Marvel's trying to do these feminist books, they're going with such old stereotypes. I mean, Night Nurse, Shanna the She-Devil, she's just like Sheena the Queen of the Jungle or every other knockoff of those.
Yeah.
At least at first she's like that. And the cat was just a chick in a cat suit. I mean, it wasn't anything.
Oh, I never heard of that before.
Yeah, it was nothing earth-shattering.
Yeah. I really don't understand what the thing is with the jungle. We had jungle.
Yeah.
And it's an interesting place, but it's not that interesting.
Right.
How did Tarzan get so big? And
I don't know, because I mean, in the books, doesn't Tarzan have a lot of science fictionally elements that we never see? That we never see in his comics or movies.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes in the comics, but
we in a TV show with Ron Ely. I know there was one. Maybe it wasn't Ron Ely in it, but they all kind of looked the same at that time. But they find this ancient thing full of gold, and it's in gold dust, and he drowns these bad guys in gold, which is kind of cool.
Right?
Yeah. But the early Tarzan, he goes all over the place. So it's kind of, he's always finding this lost civilization and all that. And it's a cliche, but I've read some Rice Burroughs and Pellucidar series, which I kind of enjoyed. So.
Yeah. And we'll talk about the Pellucidar and John Carter more later.
A little bit of Pellucidar.
Yeah, and we will again later this year.
All right, these poachers are, and this guy is drunk, and he's shooting a gun up in the air, drinking Corbet whiskey. Yeah, okay, or maybe it's Corbett. I don't. And he's
He's here. He's out to get ivory, to kill elephants.
Yeah, and he's in the middle of a elephant herd, and he's drinking and shooting up in the air like a moron.
Yeah.
So he deserves to get his butt kicked by Shanna. Is that her name?
Yeah.
Okay. And he does. So Shanna has these a black leopard and a regular leopard, and
I thought if they were black, I mean they were a panther.
I think panthers are American, or maybe not.
Okay.
I don't know. So,
I'm not a biologist.
No, it can't be. No, because their panther was mentioned in Roman history. So
Yeah.
okay, so maybe that's it. Yeah, Black Panther. Yeah,
Mhm.
not Black
Yeah.
Leopard. So, but
It's called a leopard here, which is wrong. So.
okay. So the two big cats help round up the elephants. And she has this big wordy conversation with the poachers, and then she tells them to go off, but they're going to just go down the road about a mile and then come back. And one of the bearers argues that Shanna's really mean and nasty, you don't want to mess with her, and he gets knocked out.
Oh yeah, the native guy that's helping them. Yeah, again, more racism, more stereotypes. Oh boy.
Well, I don't know if they have them now. But
Well, he
they
doesn't have a
these
bone through his nose, at least. That's good.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. I guess it's not too racist, but
his English is fairly decent. So.
Okay.
And there were bears, and at the time, I don't know if they are now, but
who knows? I don't know.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, here comes, what's this guy's name anyway? It's not Vole. It's
Oh, our villain?
Dan something.
Yeah, I think it said in the very beginning. Hang on.
Sorry, I was
No.
feeling. I have been sick in the last few days, and I was really bad off when I read this. So, yeah.
Ivory Dan Drake is our poacher. Yeah, I know.
Oh,
I forgot too, so it's okay.
Yeah. Oh, she doesn't like scopes on guns, which is I never heard anybody say, "Ooh, scopes, what a bad thing." But
Well, it's like, even if it makes the giving the animal the sporting chance, it reduces that, further and further,
yeah, but if something is as big as a house with a 6-foot tusk, I'm not going to give it a sporting chance. That's okay.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that was a controversy, and so it's topical and relevant at the time. So
yeah, so she beats him up. She goes and finds him and beats him up again.
but she gets conked out, and then we get a flashback to before she came to the jungle,
Yeah.
and we learn that Shanna wore big old granny panties.
Well, I think everybody wore granny panties back then.
Oh, okay.
Maybe no. I think those were not granny panties at the time. They are now.
Oh, okay.
Because granny panties were even bigger. So.
Oh, then they would be bloomers, right?
Right.
Okay.
So she's got her father, and I don't know. Her father is. Oh, God, it gets complicated. Somebody's killing animals at the zoo, which is something I had never heard about. The thing about zoos, you got to watch out for goobers who go around and want to pet them and climbing the.
Yeah.
And somebody did that, and I don't know. There's some hippie chick wanted to pet a giraffe, and the giraffe kicked her in the face.
Whoa.
Yeah. So. I think she wants to sue the zoo or something like that.
Oh, this is in current news?
Yeah,
Oh, man.
last month.
Oh, man.
Maybe. Yeah, leave the animals alone. I'm not against. Zoos can do a good job, and I think most of them try to. And there's some that are bad. I have been to some bad ones that were sad and disturbing. But I never heard anyone going, "Hey, let's shoot some animals in the zoo." Maybe when. I don't know, like in the Ukraine when the tanks are coming and all this stuff and you're about to starve, hey, but then they're going to eat the animals.
Sure.
And that has happened before. So she goes, and there's at least one cat in the big cats that are not killed, and she goes, saves him, and this other guy shoots the cat while she's saving him because he thinks that the cat is not licking her, but biting her. Which is kind of stupid. So.
Yeah. So it goes flashback even further to her and as a little girl in Africa, right?
Yeah.
With her mom and dad.
And her mother dies in a hunting accident. And here she gets the cubs.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be I think those are from the zoo that everyone died. So she's got her 2 cubs, which are going to grow to be whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then she takes judo and karate, and she just goes swimming, and
She's training hard. She's
she takes off her top and wears a towel. So yeah, she gets almost mugged when she kicks the guy's butt. So,
Right.
Yeah. I wonder why this only lasted 5 times, 5 issues. And then we get the guy, what was his name? Dirty Dan.
Ivory Dan. Ivory Dan.
Or Drunken Dan.
Yeah.
And he's working with a guy named Karg.
And Karg wears a pearl necklace.
And nothing else.
Yeah.
Oh, he's half naked.
And he's just a big oaf.
Zarg, his name is.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so he goes, and here she comes and fights him, and fight. And, let's see. So the guy, even while Zarg is got his butt kicked, he's going to shoot some elephants. And the elephants stampede and kill him. Yeah, that's super nice. But then we have this goober who comes out. His name Patrick, and he's I don't know if I think he's Australian or something.
Okay.
He's Sweet Colleen. No, he's Irish. Okay.
Yeah. He's a nice guy.
But she ain't having it.
Right.
Oh, and that's
She hasn't met Kazar yet, so.
Oh,
Kevin
yeah.
Plunder.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway. Yeah. It's just not something that can carry its own book. It's not the worst, but man.
Yeah, I don't like those anyway. So there was a handicap thing. I don't like any of them. There's a couple of jungle ones that was okay. The 2 friends, one was African, one was white.
Oh, Brothers of the Spear.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
And when we did Tono and Kono, the Jungle Twins, that's a cool book too.
Okay too, yeah.
Yeah, but the other jungle stuff that we've done has been pretty lame, including this.
Oh, which was lamer. So
yeah.
Heavy-handed.
Yeah.
Yeah, politics messes with art bad. You shouldn't. Any art, you can make an art. You can make a political statement, but it should not be.
Is this political or is it more social?
Both.
Okay.
It's political is social. So.
Well, I think
that. Yeah, she's making a political statement and a social statement at the same time, and it's just really.
Yeah, but it's silly because she's trying to be Gloria Steinem in a leotard.
Right.
And it doesn't really work.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Oh, no. We got something else here.
Yeah. I have a feeling I hope you enjoyed this.
Oh, wasn't bad at all.
All right. The book that we're about to talk about next, and it's last for this episode, is called Dagar the Invincible. And this is issue number 1. This is a comic from Gold Key. And an episode or 2 ago, we talked about the team of Don Glutt and Jesse Santos. Jesse Santos being the guy who led the Filipino revolution of all these comic artists coming from the Philippines.
Oh, you want to say revolution against the Japanese Empire?
No. But anyway, and this is that debut issue of this, and it's a sword and sorcery book, and it's pretty cool.
Oh, cool.
So in the story is called The Sword of Dagar, written by Don Glutt, art by Jesse Santos.
Yeah, Dagar is annoyed by the gods in the splash panel, and he's about to be attacked by. There was a tiger behind him, saber-tooth tiger, and I thought it was his friend. And then I turn the page, and he's attacked by them.
Yeah.
So, and that irritates him. Not bad drawn. It's kind of a little bit impressionistic, which is kind of a little fuzzy.
Yeah.
I'm not sure
sometimes Santos style it can be very loose. I've seen other times where it's tighter. I think it just depends.
I think it works sometimes, and I think it works here.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. So this is a realm between the end of the Stone Age and beginnings of Babylon. They didn't have any steel then.
Okay, well,
And
this is just pretend.
I think they might have had copper swords.
Okay.
Which you had to bend back after you use them because
Sure.
they would bend. I guess bronze. And maybe this is all bronze, but
Hey, and it's a Bronze Age comic.
Alright. Okay, so he kills a saber-tooth tiger. Were you worried?
No.
Okay, there's this little town, Tolgarnia, which is a little nation's city-state, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So they were having a good time and happy. We meet Dagar and his father.
His grandfather.
Grandfather, excuse me, Andor. Andor was a great warrior one time, and now he's too old.
Yeah.
And then they get attacked by the people from Scorpio or something like that.
Yeah.
And they kill everybody. Andor and Dagar run and escape. And Dagar, he's going to get revenge.
Mm-hmm.
So Andor teaches him how to fight, teaches him how to be strong, and then dies.
Yeah.
And so poor Andor. So Dagar is ticked off at the gods, and he denounces them, which is very interesting for a comic book to do.
Yeah.
Conan the Barbarian did it in the movie. I don't think he did it.
Well, remember he was like, Crom, I never prayed to you before, help me or to hell with you.
Yeah,
I can't remember exactly the line, but
that's close enough.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool. So Dagar is going to be a mercenary, so then he can find out where to get Scorpio and
get revenge. Yeah.
So he comes up. This old guy is being attacked by these weird dudes, and one of the guards who's protecting the old dude stabs the guy, and nothing happens. Then Dagar comes over and kicks her butts. Because they are skeleton guys.
Yeah. Gotta love the old sword sorcery stuff with skeletal warriors to fight. That's a classic trope, man.
Yeah, it is. So, these skeleton guys are from Osterline.
Yeah.
And, what's this guy's name? It's, Farouk?
Sure.
Forak. Oh, these names. Okay.
Would you rather were like, Steve?
Yeah, no, Robert Anton Wilson said, well, you wouldn't want a Martian named Smith. And it's just, that's a great idea for a book. That's where you got Stranger from a Strange Land.
Okay.
But that's true. So, Forak has this beautiful daughter who's taken by Osterline.
And Forak shows Dagar her in a crystal ball. And Osterline's an evil wizard. This kind of thing happens.
And Dagar is smitten.
Yeah.
So there's this big, huge mace, and
that Forak gives him.
Yeah, and he couldn't lift it up, and all of a sudden, there's no further need to strain, and it goes up.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure what's happening there.
Magic, probably.
Yeah.
But I think the mace is magic. So.
Yeah, but why is it heavy 1 second and not heavy?
I don't know.
Okay.
Magic. That's why.
Mm-hmm. All right, we have an advertisements here for patches and.
Iron on transfers, yeah.
And one of them looks like it's a Super Nixon. Right next to Bluto and
Felix the Cat.
Felix the Cat.
Yeah.
And
weird.
Just, wow, I would love to have that. That'd be cool. So,
yeah.
Not a huge Nixon fan or a hater, but he had his good points and he certainly had his bad points. Oh, Flash Gordon too.
Yeah, there were a lot of stories about Nixon recently on NPR. I think it was like the anniversary of his resignation, and so they were talking about him a lot a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, but that's cool. Yeah, different time then.
Yeah. So Dagar says, "Okay, I'm gonna go rescue the girl."
He goes
from the evil wizard.
Castle Skull actually has a huge skull in it.
I know, right? And this is before He-Man.
Yep.
Before Castle Grayskull.
Oh.
This is 10 years before He-Man.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, this is 72, I think, and
He-Man started 82?
83.
83?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. A momentous time in our history.
Dude, I love He-Man.
Yeah.
That's my favorite cartoon of the 80s.
Orko. Is it Orko?
It is Orko.
God. There was one thing where Orko did drugs or something like that, and
what? I don't know if I remember that one. I remember there was one that was, I don't know if it was Orko, but there was a drug a similar drug one. Maybe it was Orko.
I saw the very end of it, and I was astonished that they were talking about all drugs are bad and all this.
Oh, you mean like the lesson at the end of the show, the public service announcement that they do?
I thought it had something to do. Well, maybe it didn't have nothing to do with the whole thing. Do they have a service?
They had
a service announcement had something to do.
It
with
does, but and Orko may have delivered it. But I remember there was one. There was a girl. She was on drugs.
Oh.
Yeah, I remember that story.
Okay.
Yeah, she was Adam's cousin, Prince Adam's cousin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Did she turn into something or?
I don't remember. She was being used, I think, as a pawn of Evil Lyn or Skeletor. You know, it's always.
I need to see the movie. I heard the movie's fun.
No, it's terrible.
Is it? But
yeah.
I heard it's fun bad.
Yeah, I don't know. It's bad. Frank Langella is pretty good as Skeletor. He's the best thing about it.
Yeah, Frank Langella's great.
He is great. He turned actually quite a good performance. He's night and day from the cartoon Skeletor, but he's a good Skeletor.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he's the highlight of the movie.
Yeah.
Because it's bad. Oh, it's bad.
Oh, like in Flash Gordon, the best, I think, Ming the Merciless. Oh.
Or Brian Blessed as the King of the Hawkmen.
Max von Sydow was
Ming?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I like Max von Sydow. He's great.
Sydow, is that, man, my pronunciation, that's what you get for reading.
Well, or not talking to people.
Yeah, right. Kids, don't read. You'll make your pronunciation awful.
Well,
no,
usually people, you learn words and you use them in conversation and someone will correct you if it's wrong.
Right.
Well, that's what's
talking about Max von Sydow or whatever.
Me.
Yeah, well, okay. Well, now we are. So.
Yay. Remember when he played Jesus?
Yeah, yeah.
Was that the greatest story ever told?
I think so.
I don't know. I think I've read some Captain Americas that were more interesting than that, though. I'm joking.
Oh.
As in, that's not the greatest story ever told.
Oh, God, man.
That's bad.
All right.
But
I'm still on the medication, man. I'm slow today. But that's pretty cool. That's a good joke. All right.
So Dagar, he's going to Castle Grayskull here. We got on a big tangent there.
Yeah, we did, and I don't know how. So
it's easy.
Right. So yeah, it is. So there's some big secret that Farouk is not telling Dagar.
Yeah, because he figures he won't help if he tells him. So.
Yeah. All right. So Ocelon, the evil skull guy, leaves his front gate open because he's not afraid.
Yeah, and he's got all kinds of skeleton warriors. He has a big Mastodon skeleton go and fight Dagar.
Which is kind of cool. I like that. Pretty big battle, kind of fun.
Yeah. And, hero warrior going into creepy castle with all kinds of skulls and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yeah. So he meets the babe, and the babe is Babelicious.
Yeah.
And she's trying to tell him not to kill Ocelon.
And he's like, no, I'm going to kill him, and you're going to be my wife.
And she says, no. And you must listen to me. Yeah.
And he doesn't.
Yeah. It's like a Greek tragedy, huh?
Yeah.
So he knocks down the entire castle, and Ocelon's going to repair himself, but he can't because he gets killed first.
Yeah.
His spell is slower than the falling block of stone.
Right, and so because he's dead, all of his spells and all his magic go away.
And one of his spells is keeping Miss Thang here really young and beautiful.
Right, and she turns to dust, and so does her father.
Yeah.
Who was already old.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, because Ostalon or whatever wanted revenge on Farouk, so he was just going to torment him forever. That was his thing.
Yeah.
So he kept him alive just to stick it to him.
Okay.
But it proved to be his undoing.
Mm-hmm.
And then Dagar walks alone, and he'll still be on his quest to kill Scorpio. But that's it for that episode. Did you have more stuff?
And with this magic weapon, I will go to the Castle of the Skull. Thus swears Dagar.
Nice.